South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Hello and welcome. You are listening to the SeerSoccer Studz podcast,
where we discuss the beautiful game with a southern twang.
I'm your co-host, Matt.
And I'm Joe. Matt, you ready to cut this biscuit?
Oh, yeah, baby. Got the gravy. Let's smother this thing.
Let's do it.
What we typically do when we start our podcast is we jam out to a specific song chosen by one or the other parties. Mm-hmm. Last week, I chose a little upbeat song that we'll post on our show notes.
Yeah.
It's got a little groove to it, little funk to it.
Yeah, it kind of helps set the tone for the episode. Just get you in the groove.
Yep.
Gets us in the groove.
Yep. Joe, why don't you talk a little bit about this song that you brought up?
Okay, so I brought up a little song for y'all today. It is called "The Mighty Quinn" by Manfred Mann. I have done zero research on them. I just heard it on the radio, and then I spent about 20 minutes trying to Google it from memory. I thought he was saying the mighty wind, but it's the Mighty Quinn. So I don't know who he is or what he is, but it's a heck of a nickname. And it's a good old-fashioned 60s British jam.
And I got to ask, what radio station were you listening to where this thing came on?
That's a good question. I was driving on the road and just it hit me. I don't know.
Wow.
Can you really explain when lightning strikes?
I mean, you can, because
theoretically,
scientifically you can.
I guess.
But yeah,
there's a metaphor for life.
So Joe, I'm not gonna lie, the song didn't really get me pumped up, but your dancing did, so that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Joe did a little jig before we got going.
Sometimes you got to compensate.
Oh man, so and I think we're pumped up. We're ready for this podcast. Joe dressed up today. He's rocking a camouflage hat, which is kind of weird because I can't see his face.
Yeah.
He's camouflaged completely from the head up.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking to a body.
Yeah. Yeah, I had it sitting in the car. It's probably got a lot of sweat on it, but hey, I was feeling it.
Well, Joe, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to describe to the listeners
what I'm seeing.
My getup right
here. These visuals. All right, listeners, just get comfortable. Turn the lights down. Wrap up in a blanket. Get a little cozy.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to hit y'all with some visual imagery. So Matt is wearing. Do I start at the bottom or the top?
Let's start at the bottom.
Okay, very bottom. We've got some Chelsea blue Nike sneakers.
Yep.
With the little yellow accent.
Yep.
Check mark.
Yep.
Pretty fresh. Fresh.
Keep going.
All right. So, as you know, we are the SeerSoccer Studz. From time to time, we rock SeerSoccer, like true Southern gentlemen. And Matt, as we speak, is rocking SeerSoccer
pants. SeerSoccer pants set.
And okay, moving on up. No belt. He's comfy. They fit snug enough.
Yeah.
No belt needed. He's got what is that? What year was that? He's got a Chelsea.
This was just recently the 50th year anniversary jersey of their very first win of the FA Cup.
I give him credit. It's looking good. And then complemented by a SeerSoccer vest. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Blue pattern, stripes.
Oh yeah.
As all good SeerSoccer is.
Oh yeah. Crazy comfortable.
Yeah. So the man is comfy. I got a desert camo hat. I mean.
All right.
I think we're ready.
Yeah, we are ready to move along with this thing. So, Joe, I want to ask you about the upcoming season. I mean, basically, we're going to try to do somewhat of a season preview for you. And the season we're actually going to talk about is the English Premier League season. That's kind of what our podcast is focused on. We'll dabble into some other main ingredients all over the soccer planet. Mm-hmm. But we live. It's our water.
It's our nourishment.
We live off some English Premier League. So I got to ask you, man.
Yep.
Joe, what are you excited about for the next season?
Honestly, man, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the top teams in particular. You know, I got love for the other teams, but I'm looking at the top 8 to 10 teams. You know what it reminds me of, Matt?
What's that, Joe?
It is very reminiscent of mid-90s WrestleMania, Battle Royale, Royal Rumble style. I'm excited for it. It is got some heavyweights coming in.
All right, so who's your heavyweight? Who's your Undertaker?
Who's my Undertaker? Ooh, Undertaker. So you mean coming out of a coffin? That would be Manchester United.
Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah.
All right.
They're coming back from the dead. I mean, you thought everybody thought they buried us a couple years back, but no. We're back. Cue the music.
So I guess Kane, your crazy brother that just comes out of nowhere, is Manchester City.
It's pretty much uglier. Their gimmicks are inferior. Yeah, it's like a bad copy version. It's like somebody sent a fax of Manchester United and you came over and it's Man City.
Wow.
Bad quality.
So is it what was the other wrestling, the like Extreme Championship Wrestling, the ECW?
Oh, ECW.
Wow, where did that knowledge come from?
This is a detour.
I have never watched that in my life, but somehow it popped up in my brain.
Yeah, I've seen the DVDs in your closet.
You probably have. Sorry about that.
It's classic. But yeah, so basically I'm most excited for these big clashes coming up. I mean, we're talking big teams, lineups. I'm looking even at Newcastle. I was looking today at the signings they've made, and I'm like, shoot.
I really like what they've done.
Yeah.
They've been cherry picking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan Frazier.
Yes.
Callum Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah, I like what Newcastle's doing.
Yeah, they picked some good cherries for sure.
And
what about you?
Well, being a Chelsea fan and all, I mean, we just signed, I think, half of Europe.
I think
in this
47
window.
players.
Yeah. We sent 67 of them out on loan. So, yeah, I think we should be all right. But, no, Chelsea's really exciting to me this year. We've got a lot of talent coming through. I want to see them mesh together. I want to see them score 7-10 goals a game. Like, let's do this. I really, really hope, though, that a little man crush on Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I hope we can find a way to ease him into this. He's coming off a really bad injury. If he can get back to where he was before that ruptured Achilles, ooh, that just sounds nasty.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I just really hope he can get back to his level, and with the people around him, I think it would be really cool if he could push forward this year.
Are you thinking we're going to see him out there this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be the toughest year for the Premier League there's ever been. It's going to be so congested. I mean, that combined with the amount of, European games, English Cup games themselves, like the Carabao, FA Cup. I mean, it's going to be a great season for fans.
Oh, man.
Every 2.5 hours, we'll be watching another soccer game.
Didn't they just play yesterday?
Yep. Yeah, they
Another
did.
Game. Yeah.
Yep. Especially if you're playing in Europa League. I mean, goodness gracious, you got like 2 days rest, and then boom.
You're back out there.
Yep.
Yeah. It could get nuts.
That is what I'm excited about, to see my boys play. But, I mean, also there's a lot of new stuff that's coming in, Good to see Leeds back in. Glad to see Fulham. West Brom, it's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to see you back.
Oh, yeah. Missed y'all.
Yeah, I really have missed West Brom.
Come get some sweet tea.
Yeah. So, speaking of the league, Joe, who do you have finishing in your top 6?
Ooh, do you want to go my first place, your first place? Alternate back and forth?
Yeah, let's shoot for this. I mean, we're doing this for the first time. Let's try this out and see how it goes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. First place. I got Man City.
I think we had a conversation about this a few weeks ago, and you went with Man U. Am I wrong with that?
I think you've been drinking again. Matt.
Oh, okay. Not too much. Just my memory is pretty poor.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had a change of heart.
Okay. So thank you, Joe. I do not drink that much.
No, there was no drinking. Man, my heart, of course, wants Manchester United, but it might be a year too soon. I'm thinking they make a few signings. It could happen. It wouldn't surprise me that much if they did. I mean, you never know. I mean, look at Leicester a couple years back.
Well, on their day, I would say Man U could probably beat just about any team.
Yeah.
But the problem is they don't have many of those days.
They have enough. They'll have enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We shall see. Yeah, I
Where's
was a little
the
worried.
depth?
I was worried it might be held against me if I went that bold. So I'm going.
I'm glad
Man
you
City.
didn't, because we'd probably bet on this and you will be losing.
Yeah, I'm not betting confident.
Okay, so I'm also going to say City as well. I have a feeling that they'll find a way. I don't know how, but they'll find a way. So what's your second place?
Second place, I'm going Manchester United.
Fair enough. I'm going to say the pool of liver.
The red side of Liverpool.
I think it's going to be a close one again. I think the top four is going to be really close this year. But I just feel like there's too many games coming way too fast, and Liverpool was really lucky last year with not having too many injuries, and I don't know if they have the right depth. They haven't really signed anyone, so I don't think they can make the title push, but they'll be up there, so I'm going to say them second.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily see it, but yeah, I think you're right. 1 or 2 injuries, and you're looking at a totally different Liverpool team. And
just one injury with Virgil van Dijk. I mean, what are they going to do if he goes down?
Yeah. Oh, man. I put in Matip and Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
If one of them's out, too, my goodness.
They sold the best defender on the planet.
Yeah.
According to Jurgen Klopp.
And according to his mom.
and himself, apparently.
Yeah. The whole family, I'm sure.
Did you hear that story that Jurgen was like, now we first need to discuss like who we're actually talking about. Dejan Lovren.
Dejan Lovren. Sounds like something you'd order at a restaurant.
Yeah, it does.
Like a little sauce you'd put on it.
Ooh.
Let me get that
Give me some of that Dejan Lovren.
Take your girlfriend out. Yeah, but we're splurging tonight, baby. Get the Dejan Lovren.
I like that. That's like I think that would be like chicken with some cream sauce, a little bit of mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms on top. That'd be the Dejan Lovren.
Yeah, the Dejan. You know, it tastes really good the first bite, but then you're kind of like,
It's undercooked.
Yeah.
We're just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story was that Jurgen Klopp went to Dejan Lovren and was like, if you would only see the footballer that I see in you, then you would be the best footballer on the planet. Gave him a little hype.
Yeah, he took it to heart.
I think the next game he scored 3 own goals. I'm just kidding. No, it was a boost, but still kind of funny. So
yeah, funny Dejan.
All right, man. So Joe, who you got 3?
Third, I'm going Chelsea.
Me too. I think Chelsea will improve 1. I think we'll move up 1 place from last season, finish 3rd. I think that's reasonable for Chelsea to expect. Chelsea fans, 3rd place, did all right. You know, we got a lot of new puzzle pieces. Mm-hmm. Takes a little bit for them to kind of mesh.
It wouldn't surprise me to see a slow start from Chelsea, getting like you said, the puzzle pieces together. You know, probably a few injuries. I know Pulisic is. I don't know if he'll be back for the first week, but it might take a few weeks to get him back in the swing.
Yeah, I think Chelsea's got a good way to go before they really start to mesh perfectly. But, yeah, I like them for 3rd as well. So who you going 4th?
4th, I'm going Spurs.
Okay, so as a Chelsea fan, I can never say Spurs for anything. If you look at my team, my fantasy team, I saw Spurs players way up there. I cannot, in my right mind, choose a Spurs fan or choose a Spurs player. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I don't. The one that I actually like is Young-Min Son.
Oh,
I think he's a heck of a footballer, but still,
my goodness, yeah.
I can't do it. I mean, just can't do it. So, yeah, they will not make my top 6 simply for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, my number 4 is actually going to be Man U.
Oh, okay, top 4.
I think they've got too many inconsistencies in them. And on their day, like I said earlier, I think they can beat just about anybody. I hope they give Liverpool hell this year, you know. But I don't know about their depth. Like, if somebody gets hurt, going to be struggling a little bit. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's a fair opinion. I think Ole Gunnar would probably concur with that, which is kind of ironic considering he was the ultimate super sub.
Power sub.
Yeah, of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Absolutely.
As a coach, he has like a allergic reaction to subbing in some of these players. He obviously doesn't trust them, so that's a good point. It could cost a few points,
especially the way that y'all play. I mean, to play the style of football that y'all are trying to play is, especially this year with the congested schedule, it's going to be tough.
Be impossible. Yeah. He'll have to modify it or use some subs, and who knows? They could get a few other signings before it all starts, but it's a fair assessment.
Okay. He got 5th.
5th, I'm going Arsenal.
Me too. I think the Arsenal players are really responding well to Mikel Arteta. I don't know why. He's a good-looking man, but
that hairline is
toit. Toit.
I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
Look at those genetics.
Yeah, and he looks like a miniature Pep out there with like a little cardigan or a little like sweater on.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for the Pep vibe.
We talked about Pep's stylist
fashion choices. Yes.
Yeah. We in a previous episode that probably will never be aired.
Yeah.
It's a practice episode.
We do that in the woods, out back, buried it.
We old yellered that one.
Yeah, we Matt took him out back and said our goodbyes. But yeah, I'm feeling his vibe. He's I think they're going to be hard to score against, it surprises me. But if you watched them when they've came back, it's very rare for them to get scored on. Like, he's very organized. His teams aren't putting away a lot of goals, but they are stopping people.
And they just had, a pretty big signing from Lille as well.
Yeah.
The Spanish defender Gabriel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the old Gabriel. This is the new Spanish Gabriel. This guy can actually play.
Yeah, this is the new model. Yeah, so I think for whatever reason he's like going back to his old. Maybe it's how when he was brought up when he first came to the Premier League was with Everton under David Moyes. I'm getting a real DM vibe from how he's setting up Arsenal. I thought it would have been a Pep vibe, but I hadn't really seen it. Could change. He might just be wanting to kind of solidify things.
So he's building a good foundation, is what you're saying. Start at the bottom and work your way up.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, they didn't really need a lot of help up front, to be honest. I mean, like Aubameyang, Lacazette have this little bromance going on.
Oh yeah, big time.
And I don't know why they don't play every single week, but
yeah,
apparently Lacazette just. I like Lacazette a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like somebody that's 4'0" that can hold off like a massive defender. I mean, with his back to goal and still turn, and I like that kind of style.
Down. Yeah, I like his style. I like Aubameyang. I mean, no joke. That guy is Yeah,
fast.
yeah. I think he's going to score enough and they won't let in many goals. So yeah, I could see him.
Do you know how fast he is?
No.
Have you seen his hairline?
Yeah, he's blown his hair off.
Yeah, he's got a 5 head like me.
Yeah,
I probably have like a 6 or 7 head, but that's all right. My forehead is tall.
Arteta has like a 1.
Oh, dude, his widow peak touches his eyebrows.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
It's all together.
All right, 6th place. Who you got?
I got Liverpool.
Dang. Hey, oh man.
Oh, I'm going bold, buddy. I'm going collapse.
All right.
Full on.
I know
Dortmund style collapse.
I know that our Liverpool friends will love that, but yeah, explain yourself, Joe.
I've seen it has happened before. There is precedent. If you remember Jurgen Klopp's Borussia Dortmund team, they fell off in a big way. And that's when he left. His methods, his motivation, all that stuff. So yeah, that was his final season, and it fell apart. Now, I will not bet on this, but I feel I have to do at least one bold pick, so I'm going Liverpool 6th.
Well, I mean, there is something behind that. You know, most players get tired of hearing the same thing over and over and over, especially these younger players that are just, I mean, they're so used to getting everything so quickly. You know, the entitlement of these players and just the instant gratification.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for.
Right.
So I could see that. Plus, they haven't really done anything in the transfer market at all.
No, they haven't really refreshed
So
at all.
With the amount of games coming, like we've been saying, I could see them not doing as poorly as 6, but
I'll be the first to admit 6. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but
you want it to happen.
I
That's
want
what you're
to
saying.
see.
Okay.
I actually like Liverpool. I like a lot of their players, but yeah, I think at some point they could hit the wall, and a lot of those players are the same age, late 20s. If they hit a cliff, I mean, it could happen at once, and before you know it, you look back and be like, dang.
Yeah, they were a completely different team without Mo.
Yep.
And the team, they were completely different without Mane.
All right. I mean, Virgil van Dijk, injury, well, game changer.
Yeah.
I mean,
because Allison's good, but
yeah,
he's also got a Dutch brick wall standing in front of him.
Yeah.
And an English or where's Joe Matip from?
Good question.
Joel
Matip. Is he German? I know he played in the Bundesliga.
So I got to say that my number 6 is Wolves. I really like what Wolves have. I like their coach. I like their whole Portuguese, where they're picking all the Portuguese player and kind of building a camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to say Wolves 6. But who knows?
Yeah.
They sold Matt Doherty.
Yes.
So
to 4th place, Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. So we move on to the next segment, and our next segment is called Creme de la Prem.
It's the creme de la, it's the creme de la, it's the creme de la.
The creme de la prem. That is something excellent. It's basically a MVP of the league. And as we don't have games on right now, it might be a little different, but it's the best of the best. Something that just takes it up a notch.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a worldy strike. This could be something that we noticed off the field. I mean, it could be really anything. So, Joe, what's your creme de la prem?
Well, Matt, I'll be honest. I took a little sneak peek at your notes, and You put it better than I ever could.
All right. Well,
or actually, I just want to hear your words talking good about a player close to my heart.
Yeah. So one thing that's really impressed me during this whole coronavirus thing is a young Manchester United player, Marcus Rashford. This kid's 22 years old, and he took his social media, his platform, as being like a world superstar and made something of it. Instead of just, like his buddy Jesse Lingard just dancing everywhere. This guy actually made something of it. And so he basically what he did was he pressured the UK and their government to reverse a decision to not extend free school meals through the summer months for low-income families. He was a part of that program. And so he remembered his mom like crying herself to sleep at night, trying to figure out how she was going to get them the next meal. But she worked day in, day out just to provide one hot meal for them at night. He really took it on himself and pressured the government during the coronavirus to say like, hey, there's a lot of kids that need free meals for low-income families, and we need to make this happen. And so they had actually voted against it, but they reversed their decision and said that they would do it through the summer months, which I think is, that's the creme de la creme right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And the thing that I love more than anything about it was it wasn't like, his agent told him to do this, or there were other people where it was peer pressure or anything.
Came from the heart.
It came straight from the heart.
Came from the experience that he grew up with, too.
Yeah, it was very pure in the best way because, you mentioned Jesse Lingard, and I think we're going to have to put a jar on the table and we'll put in money every time we mention that, like a swear jar.
That's a swear jar.
You mentioned the worst aspects of social media. Well, this is the best side, and it was just beautiful in the sense that nobody told him to do it. He did it by himself, started it, did it for a good cause. It was not, hey, look at me, I want to be seen doing this. No, it was all about the results, and he really brought about some amazing results for a lot of kids in England.
Yeah, a lot of kids. 4 million kids he was able to get free meals for. And what he also did during the time that they were trying to figure out if they would actually reverse the decision, he was able to raise over 20 million pounds.
Wow.
With a company called Fair Share.
That's a lot of pesos.
That is a lot of pesos. But yeah, it was just, what he did was absolutely amazing. And I take my hat off to Marcus Rashford. Everybody should try to make a difference in their life with what they have. And what he did, when I was doing research on this, he was expecting to hope to raise 200,000 pounds or 400. It was some small number, and he was able to raise 20 million. And then the last article that I saw said that, he was able to get free meals out to 4 million kids. That's, in this SeerSoccer Studz podcast, we talk about gentlemen, but what he did was above the gentleman. That's a real man right there, and he's only 22. So people, please take note. We'll share some of this in our
show notes.
Yeah.
We'll put a link. But any Southern gentleman will be proud of, to call him one of our own, because those actions were really amazing. We put our hands together here at the podcast for Marcus Rashford.
Well done, sir.
All right, so the next segment is what we call Bless Your Heart. Bless your heart. Now, this is...
Bless your heart.
Yeah, bless your little heart. It's not a good thing. You don't want to be in this segment, Premier League. I know all y'all out there listening. Just FYI, when this season starts, you do not want to hear your name.
Oh my gosh, no.
You don't want anything associated with you mentioned in this segment. So it's to bless your heart. It's a Southern saying, which is you kind of feel bad for them, and you're not really. It's not a good thing.
This is a Phil Jones segment. Gosh, can you please? Oh,
that could be another jar. We'll have a collection.
Okay, Ole, if you're listening, please bring him back to the Premier League and just let him do a few funny faces so that we can at least have some legitimate segments of Bless Your Heart. We call it Bless Your Face, Phil Jones.
Bless that face. Bless the people who live with you and have to look at that face. Oh. But okay, Matt, so what do you got for this week's Bless Your Heart segment?
So you saw my notes from before.
Yes.
But I actually changed it up.
Oh.
I'm going to bring a little bit something back and talk about England and some of the players that have been in tabloids recently.
Oh, yeah.
So just recently, Mason Greenwood, your boy, Phil Foden.
Not as much of my boy. Great player.
Got basically kicked out of the England camp for having some ladies come over and breaking the coronavirus lockdown in Iceland.
Yes. Now, what do you think they were doing a study session? Why do you think the ladies were visiting their hotel, Matt?
Since we're gentlemen do not discuss these topics, but I do not think they were studying.
Oh, okay. I think I understand what you mean.
They may have been studying anatomy. But that's about it.
Yep.
But I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to bring up another Man U player.
Okay.
Your captain, Harry Maguire.
Oh, man. You're blessing a lot of hearts.
Hold on. I'm even going to bring a Chelsea one into this here in a second.
Okay.
So Harry Maguire caught in Greece, bribing and physically assaulting a police officer. That's not good. This stuff is not good. And then we go back a little bit further. A little boy, Cullum Hudson-Odoi, Cho.
C-H-O.
Yep. Cho, during lockdown. Apparently, he had a young lady come over to his place as well. Well, there was a whole investigation into what happened with that. She pressed charges. Now, they were dropped, but still. The whole bless your heart thing, yeah, we can make fun of people, but it's also about something bad. And, like, this kind of stuff, like, all these English players, like, only thing I would say is, you are role models. Maybe just think about what you're doing. I know you're young, and if I was in your shoes, trust me, the headlines would be a lot worse.
Trust me.
Yeah. But
some of y'all didn't know Matt in high school like I did.
And Joe doesn't know a lot about my college, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But I just remember that there's a lot of kids looking up to you. You got a big stage. Do a Marcus Rashford. Like, do something good with it.
Hopefully he can be a little lighthouse in terms of behavior for some of these younger guys.
Yeah. I mean, Harry Maguire, close to $70,000 on lobster and champagne.
Yes.
In one night. That money could have gone to some kids, man.
Yeah. Think of what Fair Share could have done with that money.
There you go,
Harry.
Just
think about it. We all make mistakes.
Yeah. I've made plenty. Like, probably people that know me be like, "Dang, this guy is a hypocrite." Well, maybe I am, but I'm just saying, like, you're on a way bigger platform. You have a lot more pull than I do. Try to do something right. maybe Harry Maguire should spend a little bit of time doing some community service. How about that?
That might help him.
Maybe not just make him pay a fine because the guy's got money for days. Like, make him actually get out there and do something.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
So that's all I'm going to say about that. But, Joe, what's your bless your heart moment?
Ooh, well, all right. I got two related. Jersey, or as some people like to refer to them as kits.
Shirts.
Yep, your shirts, your soccer jerseys.
I think jerseys is just in the U.S., isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Southern gentleman. I'm a Southern guy. I don't try to copy the Europeans in some things that I say. That's just a personal preference because I know some of the fans out there, hardcore, use British words.
That's me.
You're not that bad, but I have an image in my head of like the guy drinking some craft beer early on a Saturday morning, with a scarf, with a beard, glasses. I don't know why I have that image in my head, but anyway.
What does he say? What kind of words does he use?
He's like, "Come on, get on the pitch, you wankers." I don't know what else he would say.
Bloody hell.
Words like that. I've heard them. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, buddy, you're trying too hard. But I've seen those guys. Anyway, no offense to those guys. But yeah, called kits. I'll go with jersey, but same thing. I just want to ask you real quick, Matt. Have you seen the Fulham jersey?
Which jersey? First, second, third, home, away, third kit?
The home kit.
I have not.
Do you know why you haven't?
Why?
Because they haven't released it with a week left. It doesn't exist.
Wow.
Yeah. That, bless their heart. They finally made it back to the Premier League. Got a lot of American fans with money to burn, not to mention fans over in London. And what do? Completely drop the ball. Every other team.
Joe, I like this a lot. So I give Joe some notes on what I'm going to talk about, and he just brings up whatever he wants to. And so I don't really get to see what Joe talks about. Every now and then I'll change up what I talk about, but this, I like it. This is not something I know, and I'm intrigued.
It hits you hard. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, huh. So yeah, when I saw that, bless their heart. And I have a quick secondary one. Since you threw Harry Maguire, I'm going to pick a second one, but it's also jersey related. And the ones that I could see that have released it, which is every other team except Fulham.
So who is Fulham's? Who makes their kit? Gosh, I don't know.
Good question. That. I don't know.
Okay.
Whoever they are.
They're in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
They can't figure it out themselves.
Legal troubles right
now.
They're
in administration.
Yeah. Which I like Fulham. I wish them well. I hope they stay up.
Scotty Parker.
Yeah, Scotty. Big fan.
He's a good-looking chap.
He's a cool guy. And Tim Ream. Timmy. But yeah, I got to go. I looked. I was kind of on a little jersey kick. I have quite a few myself, probably a couple dozen in my possession. And I was looking through the releases, and I don't know if you saw this. Arsenal's away.
Is it the blood-splattered one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Oh, I think they were going. I think it's a marble texture is what I read about it.
Huh. Okay.
It looks. This is a warning. So before you go on,
not safe for work.
Yes. Yeah, not safe. It looks like they crawled over some barbed wire and scratched themselves. Almost like they were trying to get into the top four and they got chased off while they're on top of the fence, and then they're like, "Get out of here!" And so barbed wire scratched them all up.
Okay.
So it looks pretty awful, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go whoever designed that. I know it's all in vogue to go with the little crazy design, at least on your away or maybe your third kit. But yeah, this one.
Adidas? Is it Adidas?
I think it's Adidas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't working for me. It looks bloody.
It does look like blood splatters.
Yeah, it's
like
not
you'd
like
see it on a Hollywood scene where they just
cover him up.
yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Yeah, a lot of teams are going with the geometric design or 90s, kind of bringing back the 90s. I don't know what Arsenal was going for with that.
Well, I mean, you could also. I thought you were gonna hit me in the
I should have.
my nuts and bolts talking about Chelsea's third
Chelsea
jersey.
Palace.
Yeah, Chelsea Palace.
The Chelsea Palace jersey.
It is a Crystal London, apparently.
Yep.
Oh man,
Crystal Bridge.
Blues.
Yeah, Crystal.
There we go. All right, we got a little bit of
We just named it. We named it.
All right. Yeah, they Chelsea took like I guess a mock-up, or excuse me, Nike took a mock-up of a London Rivals jersey and then was like, nobody will realize if we kind of fade out the horizontal or vertical stripes and then change the tint to like salmon instead of like red. Nobody will notice.
Yeah, it's like it got faded in the laundry.
So just to give you a heads up, I saw this mock-up like months ago, and everybody was pissed.
Ooh.
I mean, they were like, what is this, Crystal Palace? Like, Ruben Loftus-Cheek would love this jersey because he went on loan to Crystal Palace. He'll feel like he's part of the team again. You know? It was awful.
So,
I mean,
so you're saying they had months to change it? Due to
they
bad...
changed it.
Oh, did they?
They changed the color from red to salmon. It used to be worse.
Oh,
it
my
looked
goodness.
more.
Oh my goodness!
It was awful.
Oh gosh! So it was even more red.
Yeah.
Initially. Well, at least they tried.
They tried. It's pretty poor.
Yeah. Dang. Well. Yeah. Well. Can't win them all.
You can't. So, again, if we mention your name on the Bless Your Heart segment, just bless your heart.
Yeah.
Don't be on this segment.
You don't want it.
All right, Joe. Well, this next one is all you. Can you please describe the next segment?
Yes, I can. So it's called fine as frog's hair, which is a southern expression, which means you're doing
Joe,
really
how
good.
are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine as frog's hair, Matt.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
So fine,
Yeah.
so fine.
Can't even see it. It's so fine. So that's a little X factor of a segment. Something or someone that's special, stylish. Bring a little flair to it. Could be on the field or off the field, or it could be something like a gentleman.
Yep. Finest frog's hair can be a gentleman thing. So for me, this week it was really tough because I really wanted to give Marcus Rashford that as well, you know. But
He easily will qualify.
yeah, he could have easily. But I decided to go with the creme de la creme because it's what he did is it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Joe, what's your finest frog's hair?
Oh, well, I'm going to keep it on the jersey/kit kick. And I'm going to go with my personal favorite. I know a lot of people will hate it. But I like West Brom's home jersey this year.
Huh.
It's like a refined barcode.
Refined barcode.
Yes.
Wow.
I just liked it. I don't know. I think I'll be in the minority here. But
So normally their jerseys for everyone that's out there are vertical stripes, white and navy blue.
yes, like a dark
Yeah.
navy. I have like a 1999 long sleeve.
Okay.
I'll wear it from time to time. You might see me on the soccer field wearing it. But they switched it up this year. It's like a modern, like I said, like a refined barcode, which, I mean, Newcastle went with the barcode maybe 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
Kind of switched it up from the even stripes. This, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like they could whoop some people in this thing.
So it's like a checkerboard kind of?
No, I mean, it looks like you could scan it on the way to get on your flight.
Huh. So none of the the vertical stripes, man.
Well, yeah, it's vertical, but it's
It's
not
not
alternating. Some are thicker, some are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the best part, which I liked, because a lot of these sponsors on the jerseys nowadays, they just don't do it for me.
Like 3.
Yes, 3. Well, at least that has some imagination. A lot of it now is betting groups. We came up in the era where it was, beer company.
Yeah.
Or a local millionaire. He's like, I wanna sponsor my team. You don't see that as much nowadays. It could be a Chinese betting company or something. Who knows?
Or an American car company.
It can be. It can be as well.
Hyundai or maybe Chevy.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, Chevrolet. But on the front of West Brom's jersey, I don't even know what this is, and I'm scared to look because I like it so much. It's a company called Ideal Boilers.
Huh.
Which takes me back in time. I'm just imagining some ideal. Not like ideal, like the ideal scenario.
Oh.
Like one word.
Okay.
Ideal Boilers, which I'm just hoping is just a local boiler maker
Right.
company. So
It's one guy.
yeah, just one guy. He won the lottery, and they're like, "Yeah,
Man.
put him." So I don't even want it to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for myself and like research that they're actually based out of New York City or something.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out. Like I said, Joe makes up his own notes, and it's always a surprise. For my finest frogs hair, I'm gonna take this to something that my great, wonderful. I wanted to say great, but then if I said aunt or aunt, you would think she was my great aunt, but no, she's just actually my aunt.
She's a great person.
Yeah, she's a great person. Aunt Sylvia.
All right.
So when I graduated from high school, she said everybody needs a suit. So my high school graduation, she bought me a suit. When we were looking at suits, she got me a pinstripe suit. Now this thing was fresh.
That's gangsta.
It is gangster. But what was even more gangster was the tie.
Oh, okay.
So she said, you know what? If you're going to have a pinstripe suit, now it was a light blue pinstripe. So she looked around and she was like, this paisley tie right here.
Paisley. Oh, okay.
So it makes me think that this might be like Southern gentleman style, like paisley. Like you need to rock that paisley. So with my finest frog hair, Man City's third jersey is paisley.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've seen it, but
I have.
it is fresh.
I've never seen anything like it. It honestly, to me though, it looked like bacteria under a microscope.
Okay, well that's fair. Joe's a Man United fan. So the noisy neighbors, I mean, I can understand that. It's me and Tottenham, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I do like that jersey. That's what I'm talking about. Something bold, something. I mean, who on earth does a paisley
Yeah,
jersey? That's next level.
That was very sexy.
That definitely qualifies finest frogs hair.
I even saw something on maybe Instagram where they showed that same pattern just in other jerseys throughout the world. Like Bayern Munich, PSG, all having that Man U.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Fresh.
Yes, sir.
Think about Borussia Dortmund, black and yellow and paisley.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo!
If y'all listening, just cut us in on it
Yeah. Ooh,
next year when you roll that out.
that looks deadly.
Dang. Heck
All
yeah.
right.
Gio Reyna and some paisley.
Ooh, Gio. 17.
Yes, my goodness. What were we doing when we were 17? We're at Polk County High School.
Yeah, we were at Polk County, and we were looking up to our captain, old Ben McIntyre.
Yeah. If you're listening,
Who had
Ben.
like bleach blonde hair and just would kick the crap out of the ball and be like, man, did you see how far that went?
Yeah,
Dang."
Ben. Heck yeah. Just full disclosure, it was the boy band era. There were a lot of frosted tips on that team.
Yes.
A lot. A lot of frosted tips.
My hair was probably
You were
blonde
flirting
at
with
one.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely use peroxide or use sun-in quite often to make, the whole, 311 look happen for me.
You had that Carson Daly, styled up.
Dang.
Yes,
That's a name
sir.
drop.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, our high school team has some hair. Shout out to Benton's dreadlocks.
Shout out to Leafs Bam Bam look for a little bit. You
Nobody
remember
was
that?
rocking Bam Bam. Yeah, I do remember that. Wow.
Yeah, we had a squad.
Yeah, great times.
All right, so this next segment is called The Melting Pot. This is where we discuss anything all over the world.
Yep.
Anything that we've seen that we've really enjoyed. So, Joe, I'm going to let you take it away with the melting pot.
All right. Let me whip it up. I'm going to, something was a big discussion for us last week. I figured we could take it there this week and probably close the door on it, sadly. I'm talking about a one and only Messi.
Yeah, Messi. I guess it was Friday that he gave the interview and basically said, I love Barcelona, but I'm not in love with Barcelona kind of thing.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
But really it's you, and I hate you, but legally they won't let me leave without a huge courtroom battle.
Yeah.
So I'll stay another year.
It is a broken marriage.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's sad, man. I would have loved to seen Messi in the Premier League. The way we were talking last week, I'd love to see him play against Burnley.
Oh, man.
Some of these big Burnley men. That would have been fun.
Man, that is once a generation opportunity.
Yeah.
To see him in the Premier League. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen now. Could potentially maybe next year, but he's going to be a year older, even if it does happen.
He will be, and we don't know if he will even come because, the main reason he was trying to come to the Premier League was Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Guy he won apparently 14 trophies with in 4 seasons. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So,
you can make the argument that was the greatest club team of our lives, that era.
yeah. Yeah. I didn't enjoy their soccer, their football, because, you watch some of these games and it was just boring. The other team just could not get the ball away, and it was just a possession drill for the most part.
It definitely got possession heavy.
Oh,
But
man.
at their peak, it was mesmerizing. They were innovators.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, beautiful soccer.
Yeah.
At its peak. And it would have been beautiful if he could have came to Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll revisit this next summer.
Yes.
See what happens.
He could, it could definitely happen. But, yeah, man, I was excited. I don't know about you, but I really thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, I was too. To see Messi in the Premier League, I always wondered what he could do in the Premier League. I'd seen him against English teams in Champions League, and for the longest time he never scored against Chelsea, and then he scored 3 in 2 games. But so, yeah, I would have loved to see him come to the Premier League because it's completely different than the Spanish league, and he's been there pretty much his whole life. So
yeah, I think he is more than half of his life has been in Barcelona.
yeah, and there's not many great players that go from the Spanish league to the Premier League. It's more like the Premier League players go to the Spanish league.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, I would have loved to seen it.
Yeah.
Even if he went to one of the best teams on the dang planet that can spend a bajillion amount of money to bring somebody in. Yeah, I would have enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my melting pot that I want to discuss is Weston McKennie.
Ooh, I like this.
Okay?
I'm feeling it.
So, Weston McKennie, American, first ever American to join up with Juventus.
Yes.
The 9-time
Consecutive
Italian Serie A champions. Is it a good move?
It's a bold move, which if you're picking up on a theme from my choices tonight, I like a little bit of boldness. And sometimes you crash and burn spectacularly. And this could backfire on our man Weston. It's a big step up. And the coach, Andrea Pirlo, nobody really knows what he's going to be like as a coach. But apparently he pushed for Weston. So yeah, I could see it. I could see it working out.
So my question to you, Joe, is do you think that the manager, Andre Pirlo, made this decision to bring him in? Or was it made in a financial statement? I mean, he's a young, talented American. Are they trying to bring in more American fans and media money? Like, why did... This was kind of a shock for me.
It was a shock for me also. Yeah, I mean, man, crazy.
So what do you think is the pushing force behind this deal?
I mean, from what I read, and I'll be honest, my Italian consists of one word maybe. Ciao.
Okay.
Arrivederci.
Bella.
Bella. Mi scusi.
Mi scusi.
Mi scusi, Weston, mi scusi. From what I read, they said that Pirlo himself gave it a push.
Really?
He said, yeah, I like this guy. I think he sees, if you remember back in Pirlo, well, that man had heydays lasting
Beautiful
longer
hair.
than most people's entire careers. In his AC Milan days, he played next to Gennaro Gattuso. All action.
The
Pitbull.
Italian Bulldog.
Yes. I think he might see a little bit of that toughness in Weston, which is not a whole lot of players with that mix. Weston had been kind of, I guess, the main man, you could call him, at Schalke. I mean, he had been asked to do a lot of stuff. That team had really been underperforming. I think, if I had to guess, I would say Pirlo he's got a specific role marked out for his team, but also that Weston could fit in. He won't be asked to be, some amazing best player in the league. He's got a specific, whether it's purely defensive midfielder or number 8, box to box. He's going to have a role in his team, and he sees Weston as filling it. I don't think he's going to start initially, but I could see him over time. He's got that fighter spirit, that American dog in him. I think he could bring it out.
So if Pirlo actually did push this move like that, that means a lot. It really does. How long Pirlo will last, that also means a lot.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. If you're talking about a Gattuso-style player, Weston McKennie has that line. I mean, there are certain players that are able to go in and go hard, but they can keep it kind of civil, if you will.
There's
like
composure behind
they
the madness.
know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, composure behind the madness. And he can do that. I've seen it in him. And when the coronavirus happened and the only thing we really had was the Bundesliga.
Shout out Bundesliga.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
kept it going. Yeah.
Great job with them.
We were hungry for soccer, man, and they came
fed
through.
us.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I tried to watch certain teams that had Americans on them, just to see how, our boys were doing. Because the Bundesliga is a very fast-paced league. And, we try to send a lot of youngsters over there so that they can get used to that kind of pace.
Yeah.
But I don't think the U.S. has had a player like Weston McKennie for a long time.
No.
I mean, can you think of anybody that was a Makelele type player?
I mean, not at that level. I mean, you had, Pablo Mastroeni, I think, was a good one. And I'm sure I could rack my brain and think of some, but I don't think, as you said earlier, I don't think Juventus has probably even been interested in another American.
I don't think they have either. This is the very first American, so, I mean, more props to him for making that, challenging himself to go to a different league, learn a different language, which, I mean, it's always got to be tough too. But then putting himself into a team with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And then learning from Andrea Pirlo.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I don't see how you could say no when you really thought about it. There are better fits for him, better, where he would be, better environments where he would be guaranteed to play almost. But when they come knocking, I think you got to answer it because it ain't going to come around again.
Even if this doesn't work out for him, I can only see him growing as a player.
Yeah, even if it's a bad year, I think. Yeah.
He is surrounding himself, and you and I both know this. If you play with people that are around your same level, you're going to stay at that level.
Yeah.
But if you challenge yourself and you push yourself, and you are put in a team where you got superstars left and right around you, you're only going to get better. I see Weston McKennie walking out in 5 days with a 22-pack from watching Cristiano do his little 1,000 sit-ups a day.
Yeah, I can't even imagine saying no. If they were really interested, if it wasn't just oh yeah, we might take a look at you. If they said we want you, yeah. I mean, you to play with Ronaldo, like you said, Pirlo, your coach, Dybala. Not to mention the defenses, and the midfields he'd be playing against in Serie A. I think it's a level of tactical advanced, it's advanced tactically. Yes, awareness. I think it's a step up from the Bundesliga, which I love. Bundesliga, very attacking, but it's a little more freewheeling. He's going to bring some, like the old Michael Bradley time in Italy, it's going to bring a few new wrinkles to his game.
Yeah. Serie A is definitely defensive-based, tactically aware. That's how the Italians do their thing. You have to – it's very similar to the NBA where you are set up as a team, and when you're defensively set up as a team, you have spots where you need to be, and you need to learn those spots. They learn really quickly that – defense wins championships.
Absolutely. I remember Michael Bradley, there was an interview about his time in Roma, and they said at practice one day they spent 45 minutes just practicing what they do on kickoffs, on the kickoff at halftime and the start of the game. Where should you be when we kick off?
Wow.
I mean, it's insane.
A kind of to detail is what makes Serie A what it really is. I mean, when you look at the coaches that have come from Serie A into the Premier League just recently, and I can only speak from experience with Antonio Conte and Mauricio Sarri, but Antonio Conte, we had a certain style that we played. And there was a time where we would pass the ball a few times between the back line, and then you give it out wide to what would be our wing back, and he knew that he was going to just punt it up the field, and the winger would run onto it. I could tell it was okay, 1-2, 1-2, boom. Okay, he's running onto it.
Right.
So it's just that type of. For me, the restrictions on the artistic ability of a soccer player in that kind of mentality, I just do not appreciate.
Yeah, I mean,
let them be artists.
Yes, that's my word. When you talk about what I love artistry, and so I could Yeah, if I was a true like a Neymar or a Messi, like a true dribbler who would just love to express himself, I don't think I would go to Serie A. But as a defender, as a midfielder who needs to learn a little discipline and some next level techniques and ways of thinking on how to shut people down, how to organize your team, how to keep your shape, I think Serie A would be a good fit. And Juve is, the facilities and the coaching and the backing that he'll have there are up there with anybody.
Lots of pasta.
Yeah, and he's got some pasta.
Nah, I'm sure their
goodness.
diets are just unreal. But
you don't win 107 straight titles without
doing something right.
Doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Joe, now's the time for the, what did we end up calling this? The rocking chair hour?
Rocking chair hour, front porch.
What else did we, the sewing circle?
Sewing circle.
The big discussion.
Listeners, if you're still with us and you hadn't fallen asleep yet.
Yep.
Or you hadn't had to, go to work or anything, let us know what you think.
Yeah. This is a this is the big discussion for the week, so we're trying to figure out like kind of a southern term to call it.
Yeah.
Joe came up with the shrimp and grits because you get your full fill on everything. It just
sounds
meaty.
Funny. Yeah. You do the meat and three. Sewing circle, that's a good idea. Something along those lines.
The sewing circle originated with, just old southern women sitting around conversing.
Yep.
Probably talking a lot of trash. We
About
could
their
call
husbands.
it the cheerleader's mom hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
We could call it the old men talking about the weather.
Yep, I like that.
Hour.
I like that. Okay. So Joe, this is your week to decide what we're going to discuss, and guys, I have no idea what we're talking about, so this should be fun.
All right. Buckle up.
All right.
Okay. So we talked about the coronavirus break. And then they came back with a few rule changes.
Right.
You had water breaks, which is inconsequential. The big one, though, was the 5 subs. That got me thinking. Now, Bundesliga has kept the 5 sub rule. Premier League did not. So I want to get your opinion. I want to kind of give you mine. And I had a few other ideas on some rule changes. Some are a little crazier. Some are more realistic.
All right.
For starters, I want to get your opinion on that 5 subs rule because personally, I liked it.
All right. Well, I got to say that the water break was absolutely. It really was dumb.
It was turning into the NFL, which, no offense to American football, it starts and stops a lot.
Yeah.
When they kick off, I want to see them play
45 minutes.
Right.
Let's get it over with. Yeah, and then we can go in to have our snacks.
Get some orange slices.
Yeah.
And get
But
ready.
the water break for me, I think was absolutely ridiculous. They did it because they said, it was the summertime and it was going to get hot. England, come over to the U.S. and just play in like late spring or early fall.
We'll take you to Myrtle Beach.
Oh my gosh.
You want to get weird on social media? You want to go party? We'll take you. You want girls to come back to your hotel?
You don't know what hot is.
Come here in the summer or the spring. Come here right now, and we'll show you.
When we were younger, we were playing in August.
Yes.
Probably 90-degree weather.
We didn't have a water break.
No.
And we were children.
Yep. We'd go off at halftime. We'd get our Capri Suns. We'd get our little orange slices.
Yep. Maybe some grapes.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
Man, and honestly, you were lucky if you had shade. If you had a tree to get underneath. Half the time, we just sat there out in the middle of the hot blazing sun with our South African coach. Shout out to Cutter.
Yeah. Or Hugo.
Yeah, or Hugo.
Yeah, and then we were lucky if we didn't get tore up by freaking fire ants too.
Yeah.
While sitting out there.
But then these millionaires with billion-dollar sports science departments They need a water break.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I know you asked the question about the 5-sub rule, but yeah, water breaks. Come on.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, that should have been bless your heart.
Yeah.
But 5 subs, I'm a fan. I would have liked to have seen it continue.
Me too. Absolutely. With the amount of games that are being crammed in this season, you're only going to have a lot of injuries unless you allow the 5-sub rule. I don't understand why they didn't do it.
I could not come up with a good reason. I've heard they were thinking, oh, big clubs, they have better, deeper squads. They can weather it will benefit them more because they can bring on some great players, with their 5 subs. But honestly, these aren't scrubs that the lower teams, the smaller teams are bringing on. They're extremely talented, and they'd be extremely fresh. So I didn't quite understand that reasoning. I don't know why they didn't do it. It made too much sense. You're getting to see more players. You're getting to see youth players they could bring on, not to mention the tactical dimension, how you could completely revolutionize your team if you're losing by bringing on 5 subs at once, or 4 at once, or 3 at once. There were too many pluses for me. I hated to see that they didn't do it.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. It doesn't make sense to me when you have your biggest assets out on the field. Why you wouldn't want to be able to use more of those assets more frequently?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. I mean, again, I'm going to say with the number of games that the Premier League is playing this season, you're going to have a lot of injuries. And everybody wants to see the best players playing the most. So why not allow more subs to protect the best players?
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people watch, is to see great players.
I mean, the Premier League is the greatest league in the world because it has the best players. It's the most competitive. It's the fastest. It's the most physical. So with all that being said, why not protect your players and allow them more subs?
And you got to think squad harmony.
Yeah.
If you're getting minutes, you're going to be happy.
Yeah.
You could have been fitting in 2 extra players getting game time every game.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that they were like, well, there's too many stoppages. No, actually, there's not. When they did it before, they said you can only sub 5 players with 3 goes.
Right.
So you're still doing the same thing that you would with 3 players.
You could not have any more stoppages for subs than you could have before.
So it doesn't make sense. Premier League, I think you got this one wrong. Joe and I are absolutely in unison in this. So I'm going to have to say that you got this wrong. Bless your heart.
I'm hoping, they'll see how the other leagues handle it, and then they'll revisit it in a year. But that's my hope.
Could they revisit it halfway through the season?
They could. I mean, you got to think the Boxing Day area of the calendar, it gets craziest, even on a normal season.
And that's the one thing that the Premier League has that no one else has. During the holiday season, what we call basically around...
It's like Christmas to New Year's, essentially.
They don't stop.
Yeah, they play literally 2-3 games a week.
Yeah, it's great.
On a normal year, and all the other leagues are shutting down. You have some Christmas leftovers. Yeah. You just kick back, watch a game.
They call it a holiday.
Yeah, on holiday.
On holiday. So, yeah, I don't get it. So, FA Cup, FA, figure your stuff out.
Get with it.
Yeah, bless your heart.
Dang, no, they let me down with that. But I got a couple more.
Okay, bring
a few more. We can go machine gun rapid fire.
Okay.
All right. Now, some of these have been proposed in the past, internationally, from big confederations. But I thought about this one. I kind of like this. Hockey style, what they call the sin bin. You do a foul, you get put in timeout, essentially. It's been proposed as an orange card. Not a yellow, not a red. You have to sit out for 5 minutes. I kind of like this idea. Can you imagine how amazing that would be if you had a player go out in the 80th minute and you're just waiting on him to come back? You're waiting on Jamie Vardy to come back. And then all of a sudden everybody's watching that countdown. 1 minute left. 10 seconds left. Hit 0. Jamie Vardy sprints back out there in the 85th minute. I think that'd be incredible.
I'm going to disagree, Joe.
Okay.
The reason being, when you see teams go down to 10 men, I mean, there's been times where teams have won with 10 men.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I don't necessarily think that it gives the other team a numerical advantage if you have a good coach. If your coach is able to say, hey, tactically we're going to set up a different way. He makes a substitution, takes out like a forward for a defender. It doesn't really change the game that much. Certain circumstances it really does. But 5-10 minutes, I don't think it would do much for the game to add the intensity. And it's not like indoor. If you were playing indoor soccer, which Joe and I have played together, and you get somebody in the naughty bin, it really does change the game because the field is so much shorter and you can have more shots on goal. So for me, I don't know about the orange card.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
That's
Could
fair.
be fun.
That's what we do here. We share opinions.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so we're split vote on that.
Bring the next rapid fire.
Okay, rapid fire. Now this one, I think has already been trialed, and I know some other sports do the same thing. I think this has to be a no-brainer. Quick, easy fix. Refs have to explain VAR decisions. And this is Matt's personal bugaboo.
So Joe knows that I have a very strong opinion when it comes to referees. I've refereed before. I know how difficult it is. But if you are a legitimate referee, you need to be able to communicate with the players that are out there and just tell them how you feel. I mean, if you make a mistake, you can say that, or you can just say, hey, I didn't see it. That's simple. But when these referees, especially in England, come out there and say, nope, you're wrong, I got this right, and then the VAR shows that they are, the referee, completely wrong, but they still stand by their own decision, just be a man, own up to it.
Yeah. I would love to hear their reasoning. It was people in the booth, it's whatever, because you have this awkward silence where the crowd, of course there's not a crowd with games right now, but where you're essentially just watching the screen. What's he going to decide? What's happening? And then yay or nay.
Yep. So I think it's in cricket and rugby they do this.
Correct.
Where you can actually hear the referees communicate with the VAR. Virtual assistant referee.
Yes.
And you hear the conversation between them, so you actually know what's going on. That includes the audience. That includes even when they had VAR in the stadiums.
Right.
That includes the crowd, so you know what is going on. So absolutely, I think that they need to include and just basically have it recorded so that people can hear what
Right. Such a simple
what's going
fix.
on.
Yeah, and it's already been proven to work, proven that it's better. And
Well,
when you watch it on TV, you're getting a little extra.
Yeah, I remember one game with Chelsea. It might have been the FA Cup. There was a goal scored. I was like, sweet. I think it was Cullum Hudson. Yeah, Cullum Hudson-Odoi scored a goal.
Cho.
And it was like, great. That was a great goal. It's nothing that seemed out of the ordinary. And all of a sudden it was like the referees were holding up play. Frank Lampard standing on the sideline saying, what's going on? What's going on?
Right.
And then they just call it back and say offsides. No replays on the screen. They didn't show anything until, almost halftime. And then what they showed was not enough evidence to even give you a legitimate opinion. So when it comes to that, holy cow, you've got 150 cameras out there on the field. Why can't you give the audience some information to try to decide for themselves? It doesn't make sense. But I will say that I've heard that in the Premier League, the FA is not doing VAR. It's actually going to be taken over by another entity.
Oh, like a third party.
I think it might be UEFA is taking it over.
Oh, okay.
So, which would be great because in England, you have all of these really cocky and arrogant referees that think they know everything. And so when one of them is sitting on the sideline watching what's going on, it's like, well, I know this guy that's refereeing and I don't want to kind of step on his toes. If everybody in the stadium can see it, if everybody in home can see that you made a bad call and you still make the wrong call, that's your own fault. There's been plenty of times in England this year with referees and the FA and VAR, even before the match is over, saying, we made a mistake.
We screwed up.
Get it together.
So we're in agreement here.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry.
I got you. That's your personal bugbear.
Man, that gets me real heated.
It gets you
real
going.
Quick. Oh, sorry.
We're gonna take a break. Let Matt take a cold shower, real quick, cool down.
Whew.
All right, we're back.
Goodness gracious.
So he's feeling better. So I got one more, and this is a personal one I love. I would not say bring it back 100%. I would not say that. But I think, and I've got a few areas I think they could bring it back. And I just want to get your opinion also.
Okay.
We're talking about, and I know you know what I'm talking about, is the original MLS 35-yard shootout. I think it went from the first year it started until 99.
Yeah.
So we had a few good years. And if you haven't seen the footage of these shootouts, people, you need to do yourself a favor.
It's basically one-on-one with a goalie.
From 35 yards out.
Yeah.
I think you had 5 seconds.
Had to shoot.
I think the touches might have been limited. You might have had 4 or 5, like 5 touches, something like that.
Really?
I could be wrong. But anyway, one-on-one with the goalie. You're actually having to dribble up. He's coming out to meet you. In my opinion, it was more exciting. It was gimmicky, yes, and the NASL back in the day in the U.S. and early MLS, yes, they are made fun of a lot for those gimmicky type of things. But people made fun of NASL for cheerleaders back in the 70s, and what do you see at Premier League games now? Well, not now, but
you do on the sidelines when they
Even now?
welcome in. Yeah. I've seen them before.
yeah. Well, not with coronavirus is what I meant.
Obviously.
But yeah. But I think it could. My suggestion, and I have actually written in. Spoiler alert. I'm a nerd. I wrote to MLS during their annual All-Star game. I would love to see that brought back. Just one time a year. Bring back the old school shootout. Get in touch with your roots. The fans, I think, would freaking love it.
Joe, I highly, highly agree with you on it. Now, this is something that when did the MLS start? Technically, like 96 or 94?
I think 96. Yes.
96. So we were in high school at that time. Nope.
You were on advanced course. I was 12.
Yeah. We were a little bit younger than that. But yeah, it was something that we watched growing up. And man, it was a lot of fun. Gosh, it can be difficult going one-on with a goalie.
It can be, yeah.
It can be. So, and there's a lot of pressure building up when you have only a certain amount of time.
And I think that could be increased. What's 7 seconds? 6 seconds. You could boost it maybe a little.
The only reason I think that they may not be more inclined to do that again is just injuries to the goalie. Mm-hmm. Because if a goalie comes out and is like legitimately trying to block a shot and is jumping towards the ball, could be a little dangerous.
It's definitely,
that's the only thing.
It's definitely more.
For a showman's standpoint, like, goodness gracious.
Oh, man.
It was so awesome.
It is. It really is. Please watch, if you haven't, listeners, go back and watch. Like, there were a lot of different techniques. Some guys would, with their first touch, flip it up into the air to where it's bouncing.
Yeah.
And then go and lob it over the goalie's head.
Because as soon as a goalie takes a step off of his line, your angle becomes smaller and smaller to score. But guaranteed, if I was on it, 10 out of 10.
Lights out.
Yeah. Every time I'd get that goalie. But that's me.
My goodness, though, that would be so exciting. I think they could maybe bring it back. They do the preseason tours. Some of the big teams, Chelsea, Manchester United, they come over. Man, why not? They do the ICC?
Yeah, International Champions Cup.
Yeah, man, what if they don't even have to count. It can just be some, I don't know. You get to, instead of the coin flip, do a 5-person shootout.
I think the actual players would enjoy that too.
I think so too.
Especially if it's preseason, they'd be like, well, I'm not going to try to really dribble this goalie because I don't want to hurt myself or hurt the goalie. So
and this doesn't really
I'm
matter.
just going to try something fun.
Yeah, like stuff they do, I'm sure, every day after practice.
Yep.
Or with their buddies hanging out. Same principle. It's simply an exciting little spin on the traditional penalty kick. I wouldn't want to see it in like Champions League final or something. And I don't think you ever could. But I think there's a place for it because a lot of people love it, including myself.
I agree. Yeah, I remembered it.
Yeah. Oh man,
I knew what you were talking about when you brought it up.
I could see you grinning. Yeah.
I knew. It was fun.
Man, I love watching those old clips.
Yeah, because like Tony Meola,
oh my goodness,
back in the day was like freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah, Tony. New Jersey Tony.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, some great techniques. But yeah, it's just new. It gives you a different. There's more room for artists. I'd love to see what a Messi would do with that or a Neymar. Just kidding around. Let's see what you could do.
Oh, Neymar would try to do a rainbow.
He would rainbow. There would be. He'd probably start it with a rainbow, then just start with a second kick bicycle.
Wow.
I think that would be the ultimate Neymar.
It's like if you can't think about what we're talking about, it's basically like hockey.
Yes, it's a hockey style.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're going at the goalie straight up.
He's coming out. Well, hockey, I guess they stay in, but yeah. All right, so we're in agreement on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all I got, except for a name for this segment.
What's the name for the segment? That's what you don't have.
That's what I don't have. Sorry.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, guys, that's all we've got for this week. So we want to thank you.
Yes, thank you. I know this was a jam-packed episode, but hey, the season is starting in just a few days.
Yep. So we're glad that you came for the footy, but stayed for the accents.
We thank you. Studs up. Until next time.
All right.